something to be said about hard-nosed full contact. It's like that raw rap all the way back to boom bap. Spikes up, Ty Cobb inspired, killing the corners. Heating up with recklessness, we still getting warmer. Nevertheless, nothing can test, we bring it best. Wile E. Coyote mixed with Roadrunner, full comers. Holding your title hostage, the kings we smoke others. You're either with us or against us, it doesn't matter which. Scouting your weakness, we bring the wrath when we hit. There's never been a squad as raw as trash can spit. You might get bashed with a stick while I'm pounding the fence. Look around, you're a fish while I'm rounding it quick. Take a look at the base and sprint off with a fist in your face. No remorse, no mercy, no force can hurt me. This couch purposely bring the pain, come try to work me. But there's a crew of dirty cats.
Well, salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to the greatest circus on the internet. That's right, it's chaos personified. Controlled blasphemy. It is the Glue Guys program every way. Wait, no, I got the face that maybe I said something that went a little over the line.
No, I was reading something else and it was confusing.
It looked like you ate a lime, just so you know.
Oh. Wow.
Welcome, folks. Glue Guys program every Wednesday night, 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. For those of you that check such things. You're also probably the same people look at the weather and go, I don't know, I think it might rain. I don't know. The old people get that joke, I think. Anyway, welcome, another Wednesday edition here. Unless, well, I'm not director anymore, so I guess we won't get any more Sunday morning coin flip specials for the 3 times that it rains here in Arizona. But thanks to the wonderful YouTube. You can go back and review that thing. I'm not sure we're ever going to top that show. But hell, let's give it a shot. But I can warn you ahead of time, it will not be tonight. So a couple things we're going to get over tonight. But first, as I like to do now, Marlos, I ask you a question. And that question tonight is, what's going on?
There's so many different ways. There's so many different ways that could go. You just answered it yourself right there with that one.
Well, I was kind of on the rap thing, but then I saw that DJ video that Questlove posted. I tagged you in, and it got me on a Marvin Gaye kick, man. It's this amazing video where I don't know who sees it, who doesn't, but basically the DJ is spinning different tracks. There's some Motown, there's some old school, there's some Barry White, there's some, and he morphs into the person singing the song as he's mixing back and forth. It's almost like kind of a flash effect, and it's a really, really cool interpretation. And then I especially really got a kick out of the Barry White at the very end. I thought that was a very nice touch. Because everybody tries to do Barry White at some point in their lives. If they know music, I should say. Not everyone. There's some people that put Blink 182 on a Mount Rushmore of music, and they scare me. They scare me. Yeah. I mean, there are people that are scared by the economy and their credit score and where the country's going. No. It's people like that really, really scare me. But anyway, geez, man, we're going to try to breeze through this one, make it a nice, quick, and efficient show. We are going to review the U-Trip tournament from last weekend. Couple of interesting details. We'll point them out. Just kind of a preview. Marlis and I, we went 1 for 2. So our prediction streak took it softball-wise, but we were 2 for 2 in our UFC predictions.
You're goddamn right.
2 for 2.
Goddamn right.
And both of our picks were underdogs. Let's not forget that, okay? So let's start there. Let's go over real quick our impressions of UFC 288, where Mr. Sterling took care of the C. My favorite quote from him, I think I saw it today, was, yeah, he's not Triple C anymore. He's just Henry. He doesn't need to say another word. That's the best thing he can say.
Right that's a body.
That's if Henry wasn't sure about the L he took at the fight, he can be damn sure he just took one with that comment. I did watch Henry put on his YouTube channel. I guess he got back to his Airbnb in Morristown, New Jersey at 4 a.m. and they watched the fight back. He put that up on his YouTube channel. I got a kick out of it because it felt pretty honest. And as things happened in the fight, Henry would be like, I couldn't hit him. He's a tough son of a bitch to hit. He would comment how he made good moves to get out of some of the holds and some of the grappling there. But anyway, I thought we got, well, one really entertaining fight and one disappointing fight by no fault of the fighter. If you haven't, if you've been under a rock or you just don't care, Gilbert Burns, I'm not sure if he separated his elbow or just hyperextended it, but he hurt himself in the first takedown of the fight and literally was just trying to survive the rest of the fight. Credit to him for taking it 5 rounds. But I also got to say, Los, I think Belal let up on him. I really do. I think he wasn't trying to embarrass him. I just feel like Belal, there was a couple points where I could see him going forward and he held up. And again, you win the fight.
Why do you think that?
It's a gut feeling. I don't have proof. I watched a couple fights. I just felt like, I don't know. I think he knew he was hurt and he didn't pounce. It's a gut feeling.
Okay. There's no, anytime somebody, look, I had to pause because anytime somebody says a gut feeling, it basically means they have no reason for that. So that's why I just stopped.
Yeah, I have no justification.
That's why I was just like, all right.
I have no scientific data point to point to. Just, kind of you get a feel for these things. And I believe that Belal knew he owned him that night.
I didn't get any indication. I didn't get any indication whatsoever that Belal was trying to hold up or anything like that. At the end of the day, Gilbert Burns is a good defensive fighter anyway. Having him essentially only be able to throw a right hand makes it a little more difficult to put him away, so to speak, because he's still an excellent defender. He still has good grappling. I didn't see anywhere where it seemed like Belal wasn't doing what he needed to do. I saw him repeatedly come in, get combos, and as those combos went on, you also don't want to overdo it because the guy is compromised and then get clocked with the other arm. At the end of the day, that right hand is no joke. Nothing I saw gave me that indication. Once Gilbert was hurt, once he recognized that he wasn't in a position to truly win, he was a wounded animal. And the problem with a wounded animal is you can't approach them as if they're a wounded animal. You have to approach them as if they could kill you. And I believe that Belal continued his same game plan from round 1 through round 5. He continued to switch stances. He continued to fluster Gilbert with in and out. He didn't do a lot of grappling, didn't do a lot of wrestling. Occasionally he would go in for wrestling. He got tapped a couple of times. I think if Burns was in a little different, I'm not saying he was going to all of a sudden win. I'm just saying some of those exchanges probably would have been different. Some of those circumstances might have been a little different, but I didn't see that. I just thought that Belal did what he needed to do to win. He put himself in a position to win pretty handily. He was controlling, the stand-up, obviously. And the fact that Gilbert was compromised, he couldn't really do anything else. He couldn't really try to wrestle. Takedowns were going to be defended. And ultimately, when you're talking about a really high level wrestler like Belal, are you really going to try to wrestle him with one arm? There's really nothing else. There wasn't really anything else to do. Gilbert played, I would say rounds 3 through 5, he in complete defensive stance. So I don't know what, I don't know that I agree that Belal let up as much as I believe that he was doing what he needed to do to win the fight. And Burns was being, he was being an athlete. He was doing as much as he could to keep the fight going and to give himself a puncher's chance. Round 5 is where you could see Gilbert had finally said, okay, there's not a whole lot I can do. But he again was basically protecting himself. There were times where he would get hit with 2 or 3, and then he would, I don't want to say turtle up, but he would basically put himself in a more defensive stance. And again, defensive stance, right hand. Belal jumps in there too wild, and Belal ends up sitting on Dana's lap on the side of the cage. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, not a huge, not a conspiracy, gut feeling, could be dead wrong. I'll absolutely admit that. I will say that I thought it was super impressive for both guys on the short notice to come in and go 5 hard. Wasn't an easy fight for either guy. Gilbert obviously being one arm and having to defend. Blout, constant output. Scoring, grabbing what he could. And it was funny early in the fight because, Gilbert did get a couple right hands that it didn't miss by much. And he tagged him a couple times where I think Belil was like, okay, we're going to not have that happen again. So considering the situation, I think moving on, I don't think it hurts Gilbert all that much. I think Dana will appreciate him taking the fight on short notice. I also think Dana will appreciate him being hurt. So I think Gilbert's going to be okay. Obviously, no title fight, but I think Gilbert will have a pretty clear path back if he wants to take it. So we'll have to see how that goes. But obviously, Belil now is waiting to get his shot to see how things play out. And then, of course, the main event, a great fight. If you are a fight fan, you should appreciate what you got to witness. If you're just in it to watch some punching, kind of like somebody who watches hockey for the fights, then you're not going to appreciate what you watched. And you're probably the guy that, shit on Izzy in a couple of his fights. And I just would say you don't get it. I thought it was a great technical fight from two world-class wrestlers. Obviously, Henry has a medal to prove it. Sterling, just for whatever reason, has to keep proving himself. Bad luck caused him not to get, I think, the respect he's got now. The TJ Dillashaw fight, Dillashaw popped the shoulder out, came in hurt, and kind of kept it from everybody. The DQ. So, Sterling had to kind of fight through some of that. People who didn't like him to begin with had a reason not to. But, he can't be denied right now. Super close. Could have went either way. If the judges gave it to Henry, I wouldn't have been mad. It was that close. Split decision, 48-47. The interesting thing I did see on Henry's video, though, the one judge gave Sterling round 5, while the other two gave it to Henry. And I remember we were texting round 5. We both felt like Henry had got round 5. So that was a bit odd. But again, such a close fight.
No. I don't know about round 5. I was pretty in the middle about round 5. Like, I thought there were a couple of rounds. I thought there were 2 rounds that Henry got. I didn't think 5 was it. 5, Henry was, I don't want to say getting pieced, but Henry was trying to turn the fight his direction. That final takedown was the same thing. I didn't think he was in a position that he was winning that round. I did think he won a couple of rounds, though. I thought it was 3-2. I didn't think 5 was it. I did think, I think it was 2. I think it was 2 and 3.
2 was decisive.
Yeah, 2 was
round 2
for
was
sure.
Decisive.
And I think it was 3 that I was like, okay, Henry might have pulled that one. 4 and 5, I thought Aljo did what he needed to do. And in round 1, I still thought, even though there was a period where he was, he was in trouble. I say in trouble, but he was, he wasn't in a position of control. But I thought he still pulled that first round out. And I think that was, to me, kind of to echo what you said. That was a very technical fight. I thought the scoring was a good indication of what was a technical fight and what the difference in opinions of what control may mean or what constitutes winning a round. So that's why I was kind of like, I could see it going either way. And I wasn't surprised that it was 3-2. And I wasn't surprised it was 3-2 Aljo. Kind of to your point, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was 3-2 Henry. And I really wouldn't have been surprised if it was a straight draw. I would have been okay with that. I wouldn't have been bothered because that fight really did go kind of back and forth. And in some cases, it was back and forth during a round and during a couple of rounds. And even the rounds that each of them won, they weren't blowout rounds. They were, okay, this just changed. Wow, wait, okay, you got out, wait, back. It was back and forth. So I thought it was a great fight. But again, I think echoing another point that you just made, I don't think it was a fight for the casuals who were just looking for people to punch the shit out of each other. I think this was a very technical fight, and it was enjoyable. I dug it. Probably one of the best PPVs in a minute. Like, to be honest,
I agree. I think you were you were headed home because you played this weekend, so you were headed home, and I had texted you and said the prelims were hot.
The early prelims were hot, and then the prelims were really hot. Like it was a lot of it was some action going because one of the early prelims was one of those heavyweight fights that the guys who aren't even ranked and nobody really knows about them. But that one, I think it's Parker Porter is his name.
Yes,
that fight was a fucking banger, dude. For like a round and a half, 2 rounds or some shit. But it was nuts. The rest of the prelims, the rest of the early prelims, I think the only one I missed was the Hawes fight. And I did get to see it afterward, and that was that knockout was ridiculous. But the prelims themselves were really, really good. Drew Dober getting clocked like that, bro. I did not expect that, bro.
Bro, it jacked my parlay. So I did a 5-fight parlay. Had Belil. All right. I had Aljo. I had the kid who fought was it Lopez? The kid I took that fight. The odds were ridiculous.
Diego Lopez.
And that one scared the shit out of me. That's another guy who short notice stepped up and scared the shit out of everyone. And then I had the other upset in the women's division, and then I had Andrade losing. And then I had Drew Dauber winning, and Dauber killed me. I watched that fight, and it's the first time in a long time where I sat silent looking at the TV like, did that just happen?
Yeah, it was.
Like,
it was wow.
Wow.
It was a wow. It was definitely wow.
The kid
great though.
Kid Lopez, it was awesome to see. Like this young kid who's definitely green, all right, but like he's trying to go for heel hooks that probably won't, leg locked. He was the desperation the kid showed. Like it was really just a technique question, just for once he gets experience. I tell you what, if he had been fighting for a little while longer or had a little, dude, he would have tapped that dude. He would have tapped him because it was just being in bad positions. And it was funny to listen to the announcers because they were kind of like caught off guard too. They didn't have a lot of info on the kid. And they're trying to give him praise, but like DC's just, DC can't help himself sometimes, right? With technique and proper. So, he's trying, if he did this, if he did that, while the kid's in there literally just fighting his balls off and his opponent didn't take him seriously enough. Again, a real good microcosm of why the UFC is always fun to watch from, the early prelims all the way up because pretty much every fight card, something happens on a prelim layer, like, damn. But this one was like every other fight. Like Lo said, Phil Hall's dude, they're still putting smelling salts underneath of his nose right now. He went to sleep. And then Jessica Andrade didn't take her opponent seriously. And she went to sleep. Which everybody, those odds were crazy against, for her. But, as far as the betting goes, I don't understand. I understand Sterling being an underdog. And the odds changed that day. He went from plus 100 to minus 103. So Vegas tried to fix their mistake there. And Henry was minus 20. But they never moved off Belil. And I get that Burns was hurt, but I mean, still, I thought at worst, that's a coin flip.
But why?
I just felt like Belil had the momentum coming into the fight based on his previous, performances.
But why?
I don't think Vegas dinged Burns for coming in with a short camp and go 5 rounds his last fight.
But why would you? Like, there's no reason to do that. There's no reason to suggest that he was in any way, shape, or form in a bad situation. Most people are going to assume that a fighter who just came off a fight in which he was largely untouched, no one's going to believe that he's unable to bounce back and run this fight. The other thing that may have been juicing people was he basically beat the shit out of Hamzat for 3 rounds and just barely lost. That still speaks a lot to a lot of people. Bilal, on the other hand, he does not have that exciting fight style that most people want to see. He has quietly been winning over and over and over and over and over. There's nothing about him, though, at first glance, for the average viewer, that they're going to immediately say, "Oh yeah, he'll beat the shit out of Burns." No, Burns had all of the hype going for himself. Additionally, having just beat Jorge, which I know we have opinions about Jorge and all that, but For all intents and purposes, he just fucking retired Jorge and came out of it without practically being fucking touched. For all intents and purposes, all of the quote unquote science was leaning towards Burns. There was no reason anyone would believe that Bilal was going to come in the way he did. I think most people believed that Bilal would be ready. Everyone, and again, it comes down to those people who are truly watching the fights and know that Bilal has incredible cardio. He does all of these things very, very fucking well. And so no one believed it to be a walk in the park. Like all of a sudden, most of the betting was like as if Burns was about to just dog walk Bilal, and I don't understand it. I do understand why people may have believed that Burns would win. I do understand why people may have not believed that Bilal would win, but I don't see anything that really would have swayed it one way or the other.
Right, but now we're talking about the betting public, because the only thing that's going to move a line is if Vegas gets some inside info or if the money goes one way or the other. So people, started dropping money on Sterling, which I understand.
Right.
And then Showtime Pettis, which I think I text you, dropped. Yes. He bet like 20 grand on Bilal and ended up hitting, so he got a plus 100 on 20 grand. He did well. And the best is he did post a video when he went and picked up his cash at the sports book, which was great because, he hasn't really been fighting, so he probably needed that money. Sorry, Showtime. Sorry. I mean, you always have that cage walk.
Dude,
you always have that.
Hold on, bro. He just fought Roy Jones Jr. and got like a mill or some shit like that. What are you talking about, dude?
Was that another fake boxing match?
Yeah, he just did it like not even a month ago.
Well, that just shows you how much money he made, because I didn't hear about it. I didn't see it. I don't know nothing about it.
That's because you weren't paying attention, because it was everywhere. And the after effects were everywhere. And he even was like, this is a big ass deal, being able to fight Roy Jones Jr., da la 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 la. Then he was talking about fighting someone else. And then the other issue was, of course, it was game bred fighting promotion or whatever.
Okay.
So I don't know how the fuck you didn't hear it or see it or any of that shit, but he made a killing, in terms of, comparatively, let's say it that way, right? Compared to what he was making in fucking UFC. Enough to say, I don't think that was it. If anything, that might have spurred him to drop 20 grand like that, because he's like, yo, I got it now, so might as well, right? But yeah, he made a good amount of money there.
That was a good investment. No, good for him. I'm not even knocking it. I'm literally just saying I didn't know about it. And
you was clowning a little bit though. You was trying to shit on him. You're like, he ain't got a paycheck, blah blah blah. Nah, bro.
I'm just curious how much he made. If I didn't hear about it, was only my question, and I don't know the answer to that, because obviously he got a paycheck. Because like you just hinted at, he had 20 grand to drop on a UFC bet, so he must be doing okay.
Just saying. I mean,
so what do I know? I'm just sitting in my living room or whatever here, just doing a little podcast. What the hell do I know? Like if I make 20 cents, he's got 20 grand. I get it, all right? And look, I don't care what the number is. I'm not getting in Roy Jones now, 5 years, 10 years from now, all right?
I don't know about that, bro.
Knows how to throw.
I don't know about that, bro. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money.
What was that? What was the old joke? Like, how much, would you take this amount of money to be in the ring with Tyson for 30 seconds? And I don't know, man. Peter McNally proved the point for me back in the day.
That's a lot of money, man. That's all I'm saying.
There are people that will do it.
That's all I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm getting at. There's somebody. There's a lot of money, man. Because there's people who do a lot worse shit for less money. Let's put it that way. Look,
there's a sucker born every minute, my friend. I don't doubt it one bit.
Goddamn right. Ain't that the fucking truth?
The joke I make is that there's people who would run their mouth about how well they do or if they do it, but only because they know they would never be presented with the opportunity to have to actually follow through. So it's very easy to say you're going to do something when you know deep in your heart that you're never really going to have to. You know what I mean? That false bravado shit. Oh, that's right. We do talk about softball. There's your fucking tie-in, all right? False bravado. Prevailing on softball fields across Arizona and the country. So anyway, good on Showtime Pettis. He made some money there. Somebody's getting a steak dinner. Moving forward, a little bit of news, a couple things I wanted to bring up for you and get your opinion. These are a couple things we haven't actually, because normally we've already had some kind of text conversation, but this, we get a rare opportunity to talk about a couple things straight on the air tonight. First one being, I text you, but I know you're probably busy at work, so you didn't text back, so I don't know. But announced today for National Fight Week in July, main event. My opinion, now second best pound for pound fighter active. Volkanovski's going to fight Yair. at International Fight Week in Vegas. I like it. I like it. It's a different kind of fight. I mean, I don't know who else. Without Volkanovski leaving the division, I don't know what else you do for him right now. Obviously, you know, everybody's eyeing that rematch down the road if he wants to come back up. You got Henry calling him out before the fight. You got Sterling now saying, oh, I'll just follow Henry's blueprint now. I'll take out O'Malley and go after Volk. So everybody's kind of mentioning his name because of how good he's been. But Yair gets the first shot at him in July. What are your initial thoughts on this fight, sir?
I don't know. Like, maybe I think part of the reason I didn't respond because, I mean, we knew it was coming. It just didn't. It was just a matter of signing paperwork. Like, everybody knew that was the next fight. Volk said it. Yair said it. Dana said it. My mama said it. Everyone there, fucking mom knew it was coming, dude. Like, so that's why I was just kind of like, okay. I mean, I don't want to sound like I don't give a shit, but I'm just saying, like, it's a dope fight. It's gonna be a good fight, no matter what. Volk is nasty. Yair is really good too. It's gonna be a great fight. Volk's not one of those fucking fighters who just goes in, I'm the champ, and I'm gonna dance around and not do shit. Volk tries to impress upon you that he is the shit and the only motherfucker that should be here there. Yair's kind of the same way though. Yair's not there to fuck around. Yair's trying to take your fucking head off one way or the other. So it's going to be a great fight. I don't really care that it's International Fight Week. I don't really give a fuck that it's in Vegas.
I don't. They
can do that shit. They can do that shit in the middle of the fucking Atlantic Ocean, and I'd be down. It's just going to be a great fight. That's all I'm looking for. I do hope though that we don't get a shitty co-main. I didn't really get to see because I haven't really been on online as much today, but I didn't get to see if anyone else was announced as co-main or any of the other fights that would be on that bill.
You're not going to be happy.
Oh shit!
There's not anything that blows you away. It's kind of like,
good then. Yeah. All that means is I'm gonna steal it at 9 o'clock versus 7:30 or 7 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wait. Nah, it'll probably be some decent fights. It's always a couple sleepers, but I was hoping they would blow it out with a crazy co-main, but fuck it, whatever.
It looks like they're gonna do a couple nights of stuff. So I think they're gonna have a fight night. For the card, they're gonna put the prelims on ABC now because it's which is nice. But there's a heavyweight bout. They're doing a fight night, I think, that week. And there was a heavyweight bout. God, I'm so bad. I forget the names, but lower ranked guys, but it interests me. Like, I would watch it. And then they're going to do a Robbie Lawler fight. It's going to be his last fight. And I even forget who he's fighting, but Dane already said, because he's going into the Hall of Fame that week for his fight with, oh my God, my brain. Anyway, he's going into the UFC Hall of Fame that week during International Fight Week. And I guess they're throwing him a bone. It's going to be his last fight in the UFC. So, I mean, look, Robbie Lawler's a gamer, but I think they're kind of hooking him up. I think that might be the co-main, actually. I have to go double check. Anyway, it is what it is. It's nice we got an announcement. And then they announced the main event, I think, for London, which it was so good that I completely forgot what the fuck it was. Yeah. So, but the main thing is they're trying to get all the international guys on that card with Volkanovski and Yair. So there's a couple ones that I'm not 100% familiar with. Brandon Moreno was fighting another Mexican kid. That was
that's gonna be a great fight. That's gonna be a great
fight. So
fight.
that's gonna be a good fight. So sorry, Dana. If we ever are able to, get some kind of co-sponsorship, you send us some T-shirts or Pro Slap League stuff. I'm sorry. I'm trying to plan for the future, man. Anyway, couple things.
For the bird.
I know. Chael Sonnen sent a text that I thought we should bring up. It was a weird way he worded it, but he basically said that the Professional Fighters League and Francis Ngannou have a deal in place. Chael said, I don't know if Francis will fight, but if he does, it'll be in the PFL, was the way the text was written. So basically it sounds like they got a handshake deal that if Francis is going to fight, they're going to do it there. If somehow they pull this off and get him in a cage for PFL, that's a huge deal. I don't think it's going to happen. But hey, who the hell knows? Stranger shit's happen.
Yeah,
I thought that was interesting. I thought it was interesting.
I don't want to act like I don't want to flat out say I don't give a fuck. But at this point, I'm just like, do something or don't. Shit or get off the pot. I'm tired of playing the games. I'm tired of all the PR play. I'm tired of the the half presentations, the hey, this could be the rumors, the sources. I don't give a shit at this point, dude. Pick a fucking spot or don't. That fucking simple at this point. Because I mean, you know me, I'm not really. I hate all the posturing and bullshit that they do, and in a lot of these cases, they already know what's going on. They're just playing it out for views, and and that's great. I'm just not interested. With Francis, it's kind of the same thing. It's like pick a spot, pick a squad. I don't give a shit. Do what you got to do. I will be interested once whatever he picks is official. I will be interested when he fights. Until then, I've just checked the fuck out on this whole game that they're playing. Even like the shit with the one championship. I was just kind of like, all right, man, great. Moving on. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, because in fact, I think Chael might even say that, but Bellator never officially made him an offer or something. But whatever. The point is, Chael Sonnen's involved. Chael's involved, so I always got to take it with a grain of salt. He is the OG of these fucking kind of games and keeping people's names in people's mouths. So you got to be careful. The other thing, social media wise, I wanted to give. I should have did it earlier, but I wanted to give Henry Cejudo his credit because as much as I hate Conor McGregor's bullshit daily. Henry gave him a nice L the other night. Conor had a lot of comments about Henry in his fight and had a lot of things. He's this, that, and the other. It's Conor's usual bullshit at this point. He's basically a fight commentator, not a fighter anymore. But
post-fight,
by the way.
Right? Yeah.
Henry had a couple really nice fucking body blows on him. One of them, my favorite, was, your defense is so bad you can't even pass a USADA test. Or your guard is so bad, sorry. So yeah. I want to give Henry his credit on that. And then the Ultimate Fighter teaser trailer was released today. And in pure UFC fashion, I guess at some point Conor pushes Chandler around the throat, and they made sure to get that in the trailer. And when I watched it, I thought of you, and I went, it does nothing. This doesn't help me. It doesn't make it any better. It just makes me want this fight to get fucking booked, so I can get that much more excited about Chandler putting a hole in Conor's face.
Yes, I just need this. I just need something to happen. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. That's it.
I mean, I know I'm a little biased now, but Jesus, I want Chandler to knock him out and then fucking wake him up with proper 12. Literally get a bottle of proper 12 and pour it on him. Like it's a wrestling match.
That's I was going to say. I was just going to say that's some WWE shit right there.
Absolutely. Well, hey, they own him now, so. But it's sad I have no interest in this shit now. It's like, all right, just when's the fucking fight?
Just wrap it up. Do it or don't.
When's the fight?
Same shit.
So we'll see. I mean, we got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe here. Just got to keep our ears to it. A lot of different things. I thought it was interesting that Dana called out Hazmat, called him out. Also called out, fuck, man, my brain goes nuts. I get them mixed up. But said he was offered a bunch of fights and he turned them down. And then he came out and said, that's not true. And now we're getting into this bullshit again that you and I both fucking hate.
Told you, bro. This was gonna happen.
But
didn't you fight? Yeah, they did. No, they didn't. Yeah, they did. No, they didn't. Yeah, shut the fuck up.
But when Dana says it, my ears perk up because every time Dana does something like that, there's a message there, and where there's smoke, there's fire when Dana does it. Because Dana holds that's Dana's kind of nuke, right? Dana, he'll poke and prod, but when he literally comes out and says, "Look, I don't know what to tell you. We offered that guy a bunch of fights, he didn't take them." That's usually the last ditch effort. Like, this is your last fucking chance. You're not bigger than the fucking promotion. So I think somebody's gotten a little too big for his fucking bridges.
For nothing.
Right?
For nothing. Yeah. I don't understand it. It's frustrating. I'm tired of it. Like I said, I'm tired of it. Done.
It feels like Dana putting somebody in their place, and I love it. I fucking love it. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, we got the big fight basically is the Whitaker Duplessis fight coming up. That's the one I'm really interested in, although I think I told you in an earlier show, I don't see Robert Whitaker fucking losing. I just don't.
Nah, not at all.
So we'll see.
Not to fucking Duplessis, bro. Nah, like, I mean, there are other people I could see, maybe pulling it off, but not him. Not him.
I think Whitaker's been sitting a little while. I think he's eager to get in there and remind people what he does. And then lastly, out of nowhere, Alex Pereira suddenly talking about, hey, I want the trilogy fight now. So I don't know who got to him. It feels like he now has a PR team the way this came out. But now he's calling for the third fight with Izzy. What do you think?
I don't want to see that third fight. I don't want to see that third fight. I mean, because like, I guess it highlights the fact that there are so few real interesting fights in that weight class with Izzy at top. The only one that really is interesting to me, or I'll say the only two, right? The only two that are interesting to me right now are Izzy versus Whitaker. Okay. Because I still believe Rob is the one person who could fuck around and beat Izzy. Number two, the Duplessis fight is only interesting because of all the yap and drama behind it. I don't think it will be a great fight itself. I think it'll be a landslide. However, it's interesting. It's more interesting than any of the other shit that could be thrown at you in that weight class. The Izzy Pereira thing is tired to me. You got two fights. Cool. All right, go do something. You're going up a weight class. Okay, do something there. You know what I mean? Like, do something there. And I'm gonna say, dude, he's not the same boogeyman he is. In 185, he's not that guy like that, bro. The only benefit to him for 185 is pretty much that there aren't very many wrestlers there. So it is a lot of strikers and whatnot. So he's more suited for that circumstance. I don't want to do that. I will hang up. I'm not interested. Not fucking around. That wasn't a suggestion at all. It wasn't an ask. It was a yes. This is what we're going to do.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. You should never question whether I mean what I say, and I do.
Never.
Never. I would never say it out my mouth if I didn't mean it.
I know my limits.
But no, I mean, legitimately, I'm not interested in that fight anymore. I am interested in seeing Pereira in 185. I think there's a ton of great fights that could happen there with him. I think also he really does stir up that situation, something different than what's going on there. I just don't want to see him fight Izzy anymore. I'm tired. I really, really want to see Whitaker Izzy 3. I want to see that. If I'm going to see a 3, that's what I want. I don't want Pereira.
I agree. I think we're going to get it. So we'll see what happens with these results. Obviously, we keep an eye on it as the weeks go on here. Real quick, let's give some shout outs for the weekend. And he said it earlier, so I'm going to give it to him. I popped into the recap with Dre. So we'll give him his flowers right now. If you need stats and stuff like that, that's who you need to go watch. We just give you our opinions, and that's that. So this weekend, U-Trip tournament, we were 1 for 2 with our predictions. We were right on the AAA. Sandbaggers won. We were wrong in the majors. Blue Pill Mafia
pulled it up.
Beat My AZ Lawyers, formerly Blue Point. And real quick, we got to give them both their credit. The one thing I do want to say is I think Blue Pill Mafia's back. They won Spring Worlds out in Vegas. They've won a couple NCS tournaments. Now they won, U-Trip. Retooled, reworked, re-winning now. So look out. They might be coming back and getting it. Just want to give them their credit. They had a couple, rough road there for a couple months, getting it all together, but it seems like Ernie has put it all together. Bill Belichick is back in Arizona Senior Softball. AAA, it's a broken fucking record at this point, boys, and I don't care what you say. Sandbaggers take another one. Playing essentially, major team, Dirty Money, took them to the IF game. Credit to them.
Aren't they both technically major teams?
In NCS, they are, yes.
I'm just college.
Money's been over there playing. Sandbaggers hasn't played yet. I think they are going to be soon. I'm not 100% sure. But, hey, it's, Battle of the Titans, two of the top teams. I did see that Sandbaggers dropped a 34 on somebody in one game. The Chaos team dropped 32. Sandbaggers did not score less than 19 runs except for the first ship game where they scored 17. Lost 19-17, then came back and won the IF game 15-5 if the website is correct. So they are smashing the ball, but nothing new. So credit to those guys. And like I said, shout to Dirty Money and My AZ Lawyers for grabbing the runner-up spots in both. Again, Major's very competitive now. So look out. Who knows what the hell's going to happen. We're going to get out of here. We got stuff to do. There's a new Apex season. And you better believe that that's a little more important to us right now. No offense.
Hey, do you like that? So do you like, what do you really feel about Ballistic?
I'm undecided. I generally like the idea of what they're trying to do. I'm not sure if it translates well into the play style. I feel like all of his abilities are set for end game type shit. So if you make it to the last 3 or 4 teams, they'll come in really handy. But I think Ballistic is definitely more for advanced players. If you are a brand new player playing Apex, it's not somebody you would use.
So it's funny you say that, because I've seen a lot of the pro and really good players saying pretty much they think he's kind of mid. I've seen a lot of I see a lot of people talking about when his abilities were announced, everybody thought they were going to be a little more powerful than they were. They aren't. It doesn't amount to a whole lot. The Whistler situation, a lot of people are complaining about, because the overheating is pretty quick. It's also kind of in a bubble. Like, it's kind of
I don't know what it does.
Yeah, it's weird. A lot of people are not really feeling that. It definitely didn't work out the way I thought. When I saw that missile lock shit pop up all of a sudden, I was thinking, like, wait a minute, they don't Valkyrie's not here. Oh,
right,
that shit.
Right,
oh.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was like, oh, I got time to get the fuck out of here. Oh, okay, boom, and I dipped out. I don't know. I wasn't nearly as impressed. I think the only thing I did like, though, was, I still think the only thing I really like about him is I do like his ult, but I think it doesn't indicate that the ult is happening or going to happen the way it probably could. It requires a bit of communication and coordination, more so than you typically get with randos or shit in this game in general. But I do like the sling thing, but at the same time, how Apex is kind of fast in a fight. How fast can you get through 3 weapons and it do you any good? And that's where I was like, I don't know if I just haven't, I don't know if because I haven't seen anybody really like hyping about the 3 weapons. But I guess at the same time, a lot of people feel like you, where it's kind of like, he's not exactly what I expected. I haven't seen a whole lot of people going haywire about it. I haven't seen many people saying that he's OP or any shit like that. I don't know.
Well, the reason is this: the pro players, the guys who have the great movement, right? All the strafing and everything, right? You would think they'd be like, oh wow, they get an extra gun with however many bullets you can put in the thing and carry. But the thing is, they're so good, they don't even need the third gun.
No, they don't need it. It's just there.
And it'll disrupt their play style, because it's literally a matter of just holding triangle or whatever your button is on your preferred, controller.
That's double tap.
To get to the sling. But I think for the guys who've been playing for a long time, they have their routines, right? As far as movement and switching and reloading and maybe shielding or whatever, that I think it would screw up their routine more than help them. And the guy is so pushed toward people who need to know the game and the strategy of, well, which gun am I going to keep in a sling, because that's going to go gold when I use it. And it's not a casuals kind of character. And it's sad because I love his look, I love the story, I love the emotes, I love the kill quips, and everything they did for this guy I thought was great. And then the characters, like you said, it's kind of mid, like So I'm going to give it one more shot, and I'll probably end up going back to Vantage or Bangalore. Like, it's just
I definitely
there's nothing to it.
Yeah, I'm not really like super drawn to be like, oh my god, I got to play this guy. I think something else you kind of alluded to is how he fits in the meta, or not the meta in the sense that, oh, this is who you should be playing, but just how he fits with other players, especially when more times than not you're running with randos. So you're running with a rando, it's a little difficult because you do have to do a lot of coordination in order for his specials to actually be of benefit, and especially for his ult to be of benefit. Because what good is it to overheat a gun if no one's there to shoot? Right. And like, or what good is it to have unlimited ammo if no one's there to fight? And I kept seeing that happen. I had a couple of games that I played with someone else who was playing Ballistic, and it kept fucking happening. They would be running off doing whatever the fuck they were doing. They all of a sudden, me and the other player, we'd be trying to hurry up and get over to where they were, so the fight, would be of benefit, and it just wasn't working out. I don't know. I'm with you. It's gonna take me a little bit, but I don't necessarily see myself running him, over some of my other preferred characters.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about the re-rank. I'm excited I still haven't run my 10 rank games, but, you know, I'm curious to see how this skill-based stuff happens now and the new way they're doing it. You're getting more, you know, the people who have been camping and jumping in with 2 or 3 squads left with, you know, 1 kill. They're not going to be as rewarded now with the new point system, so I'm curious to see how that works.
No. I think
Did I read it wrong,
misunderstand that. Yeah, you misunderstand that. The point of the changes in ranked are to reward you for your placement more than your kills. So you're not going to benefit. You're going to benefit from doing exactly that. Oops. You're going to see a lot of people basically fucking avoiding fights for as long as they can.
Oh, you know what? I read up on Warzone's new rank thing today and got them confused.
Yeah, they're going to be avoiding fights as long as they can. You're going to get a lot of people that are just running around looting for a period of time. And then there's that fast fight fury in the last, you know, in top 8, top 5 type of thing. And it's going to be weird because a lot of people aren't suited for that type of, you know, hurry up and fight when they've just been running around looting and shit. So I don't know. I'm going to try to get my, get some of these placement matches done here in the next couple days. But yeah, it's a trip.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Jump in there. I've been waiting because I don't want to do it randos. We had the joke the other night, like I will not be judged for ranking based on randos.
I'll do it with randos, bro. I don't care. Like at this point,
you're different.
At this point, like I mean, at this point, motherfuckers suck or they don't. I suck sometimes, and sometimes I don't. And at this point, you know, what the fuck am I gonna do?
I listen. I'm looking forward to it because we can adjust our play style a little bit. So I think we're going to have a little more fun getting aggressive and trying to hunt these guys down,
Man, I just like, I don't even like, I don't even want to wait. Yeah, hell yeah.
And it's taken a couple months, but I have gotten better at, all right, let's gear up and go. I definitely don't jump all the way across the map anymore. I'm dropping pretty quick when I can to try to jump at these fights. So I'm excited. I like playing that way better now that I feel better doing it. I feel if I lose, I lose, whatever, but I'm jumping in.
Back in there and jump back in. Hell yeah.
And I keep, you know, I'm real close because if you notice, I kept breaking people and then get down 1v2s, you know, because our noob ran off into the friggin' woods without telling us.
I'm also going to say, one thing I'm going to say to you is you got to learn, you got to fight with cover, bro. You do a lot of fighting out in the open, and you got to learn when to retreat. Like you'll fight it out, and you just be like, all right, you're either going to kill me or I'm going to die. And I'd be like, dude, run. What the fuck are you doing? And you'll be like, nah, I'm shooting these motherfuckers. Like, bro, get some cover. Get some fucking cover. And you'll be like, nah, either you're going to kill me or I'm going to die. I'm like, dude, once you start using cover, you got to pop in and out. You got to pop in and out of that cover. As much as you can, you try to fight. You know, a lot of people, well, I won't say a lot of people. I say me. I don't like fighting in those open spaces like that because a lot of the time I don't carry long range weapons. I usually carry SMG and an AR. So more times than not, I'm just not quite suited for that type of fight. The other thing is it makes it more difficult when they have to change their aim. When you're just up there, they can sink in. At that point, they can zero and boom. You know, they may miss you a few times, but they'll finally get that zero in on you. I don't know. I'm learning that I've learned that over and over and over. Is the more I move and retreat, kind of like you alluded to earlier about movement. You know, movement and positioning are the keys to to turning a 0-0-1 match to a 4-0-5 match type of thing.
Well, I'm excited to get the ranks up, dude. You know, there's not a ton of new stuff, but the stuff that's there with the re-ranks and everything, I'm pretty excited just to play and start over, get the rank going. So it'll be fun. And plus, you have to be a 50. You have to be ranked to 50 jump in, so no more new accounts, Smurf bullshit.
No Smurfs and shit. Hell yeah.
No so Smurfs and no noobs.
Oh yeah.
You know, and the cream of the crop will rise, and we'll run into them. But, you know, let's see. But we'll be on there next couple days. And we'll figure that out. And then, you know, we'll see what comes up this week for next week. I know I said we do playoffs, but next week, we'll talk about it. Lakers, I watched. Good job. Way to get that kid from San Antonio. He's doing work for you guys. Sixers, Celtics. I'm sorry, Kyle. I really thought the Sixers were dumb, but apparently the Celtics said, hold my beer. Because the Sixers didn't just win the other night. They dominated. So we'll see what happens. Who knew? PJ Tucker would be the key to getting Embiid to be just a little tougher. Who knew? But we'll see what happens. Series ain't far from over yet. I like Golden State to win tonight, but the Lakers to ultimately take the series. I like the Celtics to win Game 6 in Philly, go to 7. Anything can happen. And by the way, folks, the Suns are done. They're done. Sorry. It's facts, all right? And the Knicks will soon be gone too, because Jimmy Buckets ain't going to lose fucking 3 games to the Knicks in the playoffs. It ain't ever going to happen, bad ankle or anything. So we'll get more into that next week and more softball stuff, and we'll see what stupid shit happens on Facebook this week that we'll talk about next week. But until then, we'll see you later.